Today we are going to be making dalapi, which is a style of salad typically enjoyed in northeastern China during the summer months. And at its core, it's built around a clear, starchy noodle called lapir that we are going to show you how to make today. Like all salads, you can be quite flexible with what you put in it. This version that we're doing, we are adding eggs, carrots, and cucumbers. And for the dressing, we are doing a soy vinegar and garlic-based, sort of tangy, sweet, spicy dressing. You can always use rice noodles if you don't feel comfortable making your own starchy noodles, but we're going to show you how to make lapi from scratch. Start with a bowl of potato or mung bean starch. Don't use cornstarch, it won't work. You're going to want to use a 2-part water to 1-part starch for your basic lapi. If you like it a little bit firmer, you can go about 1.5 times more water than starch by volume, or if you're like me and you like your lapi super soft, I use 2.5 bowls of water to 1 bowl of starch. Stir until there are no more clumps, and we're going to add in just the tip of a teaspoon's worth of baking soda. The baking soda is going to help it sort of firm up a little bit. I'm not actually sure it does anything, but I've always been taught to do this, so it could be one of those things where it's just pseudoscience. Get yourself a big flat bottom metal bowl or a baking sheet, something with a flat bottom. We're going to be spreading starch in here, and we're going to be steaming it so that we can make the sheet noodles that we can cut up. You can slightly oil the bottom of the pan so everything comes off easier, but I found that sometimes not oiling actually helps more. I don't know, try both. Okay, put that flat bottom bowl or baking sheet or whatever it is that you're using on top of a pot of boiling water. And then we're going to pour in just enough starch to cover the bottom of the pan. Pick up the bowl and swirl it around until it's evenly coating the bottom, and then you'll have to wait a minute or two until the bottom solidifies. When you notice that there's no more liquid, you want to dip the entire bowl into the boiling water so that the entire sheet of noodle solidifies and cooks, and then we can peel it off. Hopefully it'll peel relatively easily. If it's too soft and it's not coming out right, you probably didn't use enough starch. And if it really isn't liking what you're doing, you can add a little bit of flour, which has a little bit of gluten that can help that starch noodles stay together a little bit better. I made 2 sheets, which was enough for 1 person. Next, you should cut up your carrots, cucumbers, and whatever other vegetables you want to add to your salad. Then I went ahead and cooked up a sheet of egg that I also cut up into strands. You can add whatever you want to add, get creative, as long as it's cut up into strips, you're good. In a lot of Chinese salads, we'll add a little bit of raw garlic as garnish. If you don't like it, add a bit of cilantro or whatever aromatics you prefer. Then you want to add just a little bit of chili oil. I don't have anything good, so I'm going to add laogama here. You can be quite creative with the dressing, but I want to show you what I grew up eating. I'm going to start with sort of a little squirt of wasabi. This is what I grew up having, and I still have a low tolerance for it. My parents will add like half the tube into here. It's quite scary. We're going to add 2 types of vinegars. We're going to start with this lighter red vinegar from Zhejiang. Then we're going to add a little bit of aged black vinegar for a little bit extra acidity and kick. We are going to use a soy sauce to control the level of saltiness. This is all we're adding. We're not adding salt, so be generous. To balance out the acidity and saltiness, we're going to add some sugar. You're going to add sugar to taste, depending on how much soy sauce and vinegar you decided to add. I added about 3 teaspoons, I believe. Then for extra fragrance, we're going to add some sesame oil. And as you will with any Chinese salad, you're going to need a generous a bit of MSG, so there's that umami freshness. I also frequently have it with sesame paste and a little bit extra vinegar. That's another style of dressing, but I wasn't feeling it today. And that's it. This is best served chilled or refrigerated. Slurp up.